the truth about boundaries is that they have to be set and reset and reset and reset. A leader keeps people safe by having good boundaries. You know, it's a word that people get annoyed by, I find. You know, it's like been whatever 20, 30 years, 40 years maybe of boundaries. And you know what? They're at the bottom line, right? So, but what are boundaries? Boundaries are flexible. Boundaries have some porousness to them. You know, they're not walls. They're not moats with alligators. You know, so I think that safety is created by leaders through clear policies, clear positions, clear mission statements, clarity and transparency in the relationship that is not about, you know, it's like I'm your buddy, you know? I mean, it's a different type of friendship. And, you know, I'm in clinical work, so it's even more so. You know, like clinical boundaries are extremely important. And I have seen more than one clinical business go awry because of a lack of boundaries, because we're dealing with human beings and emotions and relationships, essentially. So if one is not keeping those boundaries, then we're not keeping the clients safe. So it's almost like the extreme sports version of your question. You know, it's that the boundaries have to be very clear. And the thing is that in those situations when you're dealing, especially with clients, sometimes with staff, there's going to be pushback on that. And so then the key is then I have to hold that boundary and know that it's for the good of everybody. The other thing that I talk about a lot in groups that I run and workshops is boundaries with the boundaryless. You know, some people just won't follow the direction. Like some people don't like boundaries, you know, and the reason they don't like it is because they don't want to see change, they don't want to be limited, they don't want to lose the familiarity of whatever, you know, people don't like them. And so the truth about boundaries, that's the extreme version of it. The truth about boundaries is that they have to be set and reset and reset and reset. And that there is where some of the safety is created, is through the acknowledgement that this is not a one-stop shop and I've set these boundaries and now we're all going to just move forward. This is going back to the Four Noble Truths Eightfold Path aspect. So the first two factors of the Eightfold Path are wisdom and intention. So I'm right understanding and setting wise intention. So what's the wisdom? We're talking about the wisdom of what is a good leader and what are the different aspects of leadership, what are the different aspects of how I'm going to be most helpful to those that work with me and those we work for. And then once I've gathered that wisdom together, and of course it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, it's all working at the same time, but once I build that wisdom, then I can set my intention. Now, I'm setting an intention right now, right? I set the intention for the next word I'm going to say. Like every single thing we say and do has an intention behind it, thought preceding action. So if I am able to get into that flow, the sort of impermanence of moment to moment and what that looks like, then I'm setting and resetting intention. I'm setting and resetting boundaries. And some, you know, we're talking in small increments and in larger increments. You know, there's the resetting of the intention of what I'm going to say next, and then there's the resetting of the intention of what our 5-year plan is for, you know, for our business or for what we're doing. So, so that's my vision of boundaries. Is it's not like that it's so much more flexible or, you know, like lovey-dovey. As a matter of fact, a lot in clinical Dharma, I talk a lot about how, you know, compassionate care or compassionate leadership looks different to each person and for each person. There's the bodhisattva of compassion. So bodhisattva is a being who goes to nirvana and says, I'm not going to hang out in nirvana, I'm going to go back and be born into a human body again, and I'm going to help more people. Okay, so there's the bodhisattva of compassion, and when the bodhisattva of compassion is represented like by statues or in paintings, it often has a lot of arms and a lot of eyes, because I need a lot of different ways of seeing because what's compassionate for you is poison for you. And then I have to have a lot of different solutions, right? And I think across the board, A-type or the type I'm describing, that's a leadership deal. Is, you know, like I have to be able to be there for all the different people and all the different situations and all the diversity of experience. So, so that's my kid. And I need dozens of arms and dozens of eyes, right? Just for that one person. So, so in the end, that's kind of the role of boundaries in the whole deal.